So the new ICD-10 codes for mental health are coming into effect in 2023, but what do they mean for you? The new codes are designed to provide a more detailed description of mental health conditions and disorders in order to improve the accuracy and specificity of a diagnosis. This will help to ensure that patients receive the most appropriate treatment for their conditions. So I put together this video to help you understand what the ICD-10 codes are for mental health, the changes that are coming up in the new year. I'm going to explain what they are, how they'll impact your coding, and what you can do to prepare for that. Before we get started, click subscribe to get helpful tips and tricks about insurance billing in your private practice and a ton of free resources to help you with topics like this one. I'm Kym Tolson. I help insurance-based therapists learn how to bill insurance quickly and accurately so they can get paid every time for every session without having to spend a fortune on billing companies. So the ICD-10 codes are the official index and guidelines for mental health diagnoses. These are designed to help people that are coding claims like us find and assign the correct diagnosis codes for their clients and the conditions that their clients are suffering from. So some of these codes are billable and some are not billable. Don't ask me why, but some are fine with the insurance companies, some aren't. So each year these codes get updated, and I think they do it just to confuse us. But anyway, October 1st, usually every year, there's an update to the code set that we've been using for the last year. So I'm going to go through that and try to explain a little bit more about the changes so you are coding correctly in your private practice. So what are the new ICD-10 codes for mental health and what do they mean for you? So the ones I want to focus on today, there's a ton other than mental health, but the ones I want to focus on for our purposes are one, F43.8, which is other specified trauma and or stressor-related disorder. F11.92, opioid use, unspecified with intoxication. And then F20.4, schizophrenia or schizophrenic undifferentiated. So as I understand the changes right now, if you use F43.8, other specified trauma and stress-related disorder for any clients, you're going to need to update that to F43.89 for other reactions to severe stress, because F43.8 is going to start to get denied if you've been using that and billing for that, because this code has been like demoted, so to speak. So now F43.8 means reaction to severe stress and adjustment disorders, which are the F43 category when you're using a diagnosis. So it's no longer considered a valid code for billing purposes. So if you've been billing that, you're going to start seeing your claims getting denied because it's no longer an accepted billable code. Now, a new code in this category, the F43 category, is F43.81, which means prolonged grief disorder. So this is a new diagnosis that you can use if you're dealing with people that have grief or they're stuck in their grief for a prolonged period of time. In the notes under this video, I've put links to all of these diagnoses, so you could just go down and click if you want to read all about it and what makes it a diagnosis. So you can go through and make sure your clients fit that category if you're going to build that code. Non-specific codes like F43.8 require more digits to indicate the appropriate level of the diagnosis. So to be more specific, you want to go further than the F43.8. You want to do F43.81, 82. Those will be accepted for billing purposes, but the F43.8 will not be. Now, just on that topic, there are a couple you can use. So F43.81 for prolonged grief disorder will work, as I mentioned before, and F43.89 for other reactions to severe stress will work too. So if you've been using that code we were talking about, these are two alternatives that you can use if the client meets the criteria for those. I hope that helps. Now I want to talk about changes in codes. So schizophrenia, schizophrenic undifferentiated F20.4 has been revised, and it's revised to the new code F20.5, which stands for residual schizophrenia. So you'll have to bill that now. So if you're billing that F20.4, now it's going to be F20.5. So you might see some denials in that department as well. Another new code is schizophrenia unspecified. It's now F20.9. So I put the link down in the notes too to help you with that. You can go look it up and just check and see if you're dealing with any clients that have schizophrenia, that you're using the right billing diagnosis code to get paid. If you see denials in this category, that's probably why. There are some new codes for substance use disorders. So the new code F F10.90, alcohol use unspecified, uncomplicated, is a new code that they've put out for substance use disorders. So I put the link in the show notes for that too. You can go check it out, read more about that new substance use disorder code if you'd like to learn more about that. Okay. Another new code is F10.11, alcohol abuse unspecified in remission. So that's a new code that you can use too. Now, as far as substance abuse goes, they have removed a code. They removed F11.92, which was opioid use unspecified with intoxication. They've made it more specific, so they've totally taken that code out. If you're using that, like you're billing an IOP or something like that, F11.92, you can take that out because it's not going to be reimbursable anymore. So make sure you take a look at that and you find the new code that's appropriate. I put the link down below for that category of the ICD-10 codes as well. So you can click below and see more about that. And I've also put a link down below about all the billable mental health codes that can be found. It's on pages 41 through 50 of the link down below. The website that I use is www.icd10data.com. It's very helpful. I'm going to show you in a minute how to use it so you can understand it better, but I just want to go through these codes first so you know everything about this. The complete list of new codes, I put the link down below so you can check that out. And then lastly, what changes do you need to make to prepare for the new code? So as I was saying before, you're just going to need to check out these diagnosis codes and make sure you're not using any of them still, the ones that have been removed or changed in your billing practices, because as I said, the claims are going to get denied if you're using these old codes and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, it's been paying fine for this client forever. I don't know what's happening. That's what's happening. The codes have changed, and that's all it is it's a quick fix. You can revise the claims and resubmit them if you've already sent some off with these diagnosis codes. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. This is the website I was telling you about. It is the ICD-10 diagnosis code. So if you come to this ICD10data.com and you click just the home page like this, you're going to be brought to this category right here where it says 2023-2022 ICD-10 codes. If you come down here, you'll be able to see new codes, revised codes, deleted codes. You can click on all of that. You can even click a code up here to see if it's still billable. So if we do F43.8 and hit enter, we're going to see it has a red arrow. This website has a lot of ads, but we're going to see it has a red arrow next to it. And see down here how F43.81 has a green arrow. So if you click this, it's going to update you on everything I was just telling you about. Basically, it's now considered a non-billable code in 2022. So you could see F43.8 should not be used for reimbursement purposes, as there are multiple codes below that contain a greater level of detail. So if you go down here, you're going to find more information about this, and it's going to tell you how to bill it. And in this website, if anything's red, you can almost guarantee if you try to bill that code, it's not going to get paid. So let's see if we do F43.81. We put that in. See how it's green right there? You can click this, and it says it's a billable specific code, and it's a new code. So this was the new F43.81 I was telling you about. That is the prolonged grief disorder. Okay, so I hope that helps. This website is really helpful, especially if you get a denied claim and you get a weird message about diagnosis. You can come on over to this website, check it out, and you'll see that it is billable or not billable, especially with these new changes. So I hope that helps. So just my final thoughts on the new ICD-10 codes for mental health. With more accurate diagnoses, patients and clients will be able to get their most appropriate treatment for their condition. So that's why they do this, even though it makes it really hard for us. The new codes are also important because they'll help to reduce the number of misdiagnoses in clients. It can help us get very specific with what's going on, and that drives our treatment plans and our progress notes and the medical necessity that we have to meet for the insurance companies. So I hope this helped, and you can learn more about it if you go to that website that I was telling you about which diagnosis to use for your clients. With this stuff, preparation is key for making the switch to the new codes for mental health. Make sure you understand how the changes are going to impact your coding, and be sure to update your systems, if you've got this code stored anywhere, if you've got treatment plans stored around this code, make sure you're updating all that stuff. Okay. And then you can bill accordingly with the new codes that we talked about. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out to myself, or you can sign up for my billing membership community, Bill Like a Boss, where we keep you up to date on all the latest changes like this. And we walk you through any billing difficulties that you encounter trying to bill insurance on your own in your private practice. And that's at www.privatepracticeinsurancebilling.com. If you're ready to learn more about insurance billing in your private practice, hit the subscribe button below for all of my billing videos. Take care.